The news you can count on. Mayport to Ponte Vedra Beach. The Island Times News Update begins right now. Here's Tom Patton.
Welcome to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. The City of Atlantic Beach approved a contract that will make Brenna Durden the city's new attorney following a transition period. Durden and the firm Lewis, Longman & Walker were selected by the Commission after Patrick Krachowski of Gray Robinson withdrew his application at a special called meeting March 8th. Under the terms of the new contract, which City Manager Nelson Van Leer said was a hybrid of retainer and hourly charges, the firm will be paid a monthly retainer of $4,500, which is $225 per hour for up to 20 hours. All other services are non-retainer services and will be billed at an hourly rate of $250 an hour in time increments of 1/10 hours. Paralegal time, services for litigation, and other services will be billed separately. The city will also reimburse pre-approved out-of-pocket costs. The firm will be responsible for advising the city manager when fees and costs reach $7,000 a month. Following the March 8th meeting, both Mayor Mitch Reeves and Commissioner John Stinson, who had voted against entering into negotiations with the firm, met.
The role of the attorney, city attorney, is so important that I felt that to have unanimous support from this board was essential. Those meetings were a great opportunity for me to have a forthright discussion with each with the mayor and with Commissioner Stinson. I felt that they gave them an opportunity to ask me questions and for me to tell them a little bit about how I felt about going forth with the city's business. They were, as I said, crucial, and I want to publicly thank Mayor Reeves and Commissioner Stinson for the time that they took to meet with me, and that their willingness to recognize that maybe they could in the future vote for me like you did tonight.
The vote on the contract was unanimous. Durden and the current city attorney, Rich Commando, will be meeting over the next few days to bring her up to speed on some of the city's pending issues. The stormwater retention pond at the Atlantic Beach Dog Park and Aquatic Gardens will be expanded as part of a townhome development planned for the parcel at Aquatic Drive and Atlantic Boulevard. The retention pond must be expanded to accommodate stormwater runoff from the development. William Norris, a representative for the developers, said the expansion of the pond would add about 3,053 cubic yards of capacity for holding stormwater.
We are doubling the amount of required compensatory storage for our site and providing that to the city. So basically our site would be required to have 287 cubic yards of volume storage on the site under the current code. We are providing a total of 1,072 at normal stage, and then the total additional volume through the lowered section of the southern and eastern parts of the pond provide, it looks like an approximate 2,000 cubic yards for a total of 3,053 cubic yards of volume.
Norris, who represents Tribridge Residential, the developer, also said that for the city to expand the dog park and the pond, which the city had considered, and keep the dog park usable area the same, the city would need to come onto the adjoining property, and the developer would convey a portion of the parcel to the city for expansion of the dog park. The commission acknowledged that the expansion of the pond would not solve the drainage problem in the Aquatic Garden neighborhood. Commissioner John Stinson said that any other developer would be required to build its own stormwater retention facility and not use one that was constructed by the city.
And I'm not so concerned necessarily about the sharing of stormwater retention and stormwater management as I am about the maintenance moving forward. Who's going to maintain the pond today, tomorrow, 5 years from today, or tomorrow, 20 years? And I think that's something that needs to be in the contract.
The dog park will be closed for up to 3 months while the pond is constructed. Tribridge will reimburse the city for the time the park is closed, as the city has sold memberships for the use of the park. Norris said he'd suggest that the city use those funds to extend the memberships of those people. Commissioner Blythe Waters asked if the commission would have another opportunity to consider the drainage issue if the developer did not ask for a variance on the actual residential development. City Attorney Rich Commando said they would not, and Commissioner Jimmy Hill said the agreement itself represented a huge variance. Both voted against approving the contract, which passed on a 3-2 vote. Neptune Beach will discuss a possible tree mitigation fund and a proposal to require new businesses in the Central Business District to comply with the city's parking ordinance at its workshop meeting Monday night. The city is looking at the possibility of establishing a tree mitigation fund similar to the one in Atlantic Beach that would allow property owners to pay into a fund when they remove trees from their property rather than replace trees on an inch-by-inch basis. The fund would be used for projects like the one that recently saw the planting of some 90 palm trees along First Street. The city will also discuss a proposal that would require new businesses in the Central Business District to have the same number of parking spaces that all other businesses in the city must provide. Currently, businesses in the CDB can open with half the parking spaces that are required for other businesses. Mayor Harriet Pruitt has said the reduced parking requirement is at least partially responsible for the current lack of parking in Town Center. The Community Development Board has said it is not in favor of requiring new businesses in the CDB to come into full compliance with the city's parking ordinance. Well, when we come back, there's a new sign welcoming drivers to Neptune Beach. This is the Island Times News Update.
The news you can count on. The Island Times News Update will be right back.
Beaches Academy Child Care Center in Jacksonville Beach has been offering affordable, loving child care to families in the Beaches communities for 35 years. Conveniently located on Penman Road, Beaches Academy offers care for children from infants through preschool, with programs that encourage learning and outdoor play. Our affordable tuition means families can get quality child care at a price that fits their budget. Contact Beaches Academy at 246-3885 and schedule a tour of our center. Beaches Academy, the child always comes first. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning in Atlantic Beach offers a full range of residential and commercial heating and air conditioning services, from new installation to replacement and remodeling. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning can keep your home comfortable year-round, and they offer preventive maintenance contracts to keep your system running at peak efficiency. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning is an authorized Bryant dealer and will service all brands. For year-round comfort in your home or business, contact the original Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning at 241-1788.
Welcome back to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. Mayor Harriet Pruitt and members of the Ish-Brent Beautification Committee in Neptune Beach gathered on the Mayport Road exit from Atlantic Boulevard Tuesday evening for a photo opportunity with a new sign welcoming people to Neptune Beach. The sign is a larger version of the one placed on the southern city limit on First Street. The city approved both signs last year, but placing the larger sign on the state road right-of-way required the approval of the State Department of Transportation, and that turned out to be not easy to get. Mayor Pruitt said she had to call on State Representative Janet Atkins to intercede on the city's behalf and move the project forward.
It took 14 months, 14 long months. It took a lot of work from our city staff, Amanda in particular, going back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth from the state. And finally, it took me going to our Representative Janet Atkins, going to put whatever she could onto the state to try to get this issue resolved. It was a long, hard battle to get this sign put up.
Pruitt said a third sign is planned for the city limit on Penman Road. The Beaches Museum and History Park will be launching its newest membership group on Wednesday, March 23rd at 6 p.m. Young professionals who are interested in learning more about the group are invited to a happy hour event at the museum that will include tours of the History Park, music, networking, and refreshments. The event is free to prospective members. Annual membership at the museum's young professional level is $25 for individuals or $40 for couples. Membership will include invitations to quarterly history happy hours, where the group will tour local historic sites, followed by an opportunity to socialize and network. The 2016 schedule will start with a tour of the lifeguard station, followed by a walk down the boardwalk and ending at Hoptinger. Membership in the group will also include other museum benefits, including a reduced rate for the Beaches Legends program. Get more information at www.beachesmuseum.org. Best-selling author Randy Wayne White is returning to the Bookmark on Sunday. White is the author of the popular Doc Ford series, and in the latest installment, Ford accepts a covert operation to track down an ISIS sympathizer in Mexico. Not surprisingly, Ford's suspicions about one of 3 murder victims are confirmed. White will talk with fans and sign copies of his new book at the Independent Bookstore in Neptune Beach, beginning at 7 p.m. Well, we're just a couple of weeks away from the annual Spring in the Blues Music Festival in Jacksonville Beach. Bands will begin performing on stage at the Seawalk Pavilion on Friday, April 1st, but a special concert at the Beaches Museum Chapel will feature blues guitarist Selwyn Birchwood on Thursday, March 31st. The concert begins at 7. Mojo's Barbecue caters the events with a barbecue buffet beginning at 6 for a $10 donation.
The news you can count on. Mayport to Ponte Vedra Beach, forecasting your beaches. This is your local look weather.
The National Weather Service says we can expect off and on rain through the weekend. The sun will return late Sunday afternoon, but it will be considerably cooler on Sunday and Monday. But don't worry, temperatures will climb back into the 70s by Wednesday and stay there through the rest of the week. The Island Times is always digital, always free at www.theislandtimes.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to be the first to know about stories posted on the Island Times. I'm Tom Patton. Thanks for watching.